The Philippines and Finland renew bilateral relations as the two nations seek to improve ties in the field of economy, environment, education, as well as immigration and international cooperation. Joining us this morning here on New Day is Ambassador of Finland to the Philippines, Juha Pyykkö. Good morning, Ambassador. It's great to have you.
Good morning.
Let me see if I can get this like Hyvää huomenta.
That's excellent.
How did I do?
Hyvää huomenta. That's perfect.
I tried to brush up because we've had the pleasure of having your wife on.
That is true.
It's such a pleasure to have her.
Thank you.
And listen, the reopening of the embassy in Finland in Manila is fantastic news. The embassy closed way back in 2012. I didn't realize this, and it was reestablished September of 2020 with you assuming the post as head of mission. So it's quite exciting to have you here. What was the thought behind reestablishing ties and really what are we going to be focusing on?
Basically, there are three reasons why the government decided to come back with an embassy here. First of all, it's business facilitation and a policy dialogue on priorities and expertise areas where we think that we can offer something for the Philippines, like fight against climate change, digitalization, education. Education is important, and that's the foundation of our success story. Then it's immigration and consular services. There is a sizable community of Filipinos in Finland. An increasing number of Filipinos travel to Finland to live and work there, and they are highly appreciated there as a workforce. And thirdly, naturally, it's the big picture. It's the geopolitical situation in the region, which is of importance to Finland and the European Union. And all what we do here is based on human rights, because our foreign policy is human rights based.
Right, human rights based governance, particularly in the areas of education and the environment, as well as I think where there will be a lot of synergies and cooperations. We're obviously going to be mining your expertise and experience in those areas. Are there any particular focus areas as far as education goes? I know Finland is becoming quite a destination, if we can call it that, or there's a focus on a lot of Filipinos actually considering to study in Finland.
Absolutely. Maybe I mentioned two. I mean, basic education. I think, as you know, in the whole world, we are going through a crisis of education for many, many reasons. And that has, in a way, forced us to go back to the basics. It's basic education, and that's something that we want to share experiences and our policies here as well. But obviously then higher education, which leads to innovations. That's another area. I mean, both ends, basic education and then the higher education. Those are important in many respects, both of them.
Right. Climate change, the environment, also an area of expertise for Finland?
Absolutely. I mean, we are green, very much green. You know, we have lakes in Finland, and there are paper factories by the lakes, and we can drink water from those lakes. So it shows that the technology that we are using in many of our industries, it's top notch, and that's something that we want to share here as well.
That sounds fantastic. You did have the opportunity to have a meeting with President Bongbong Marcos. Were there any areas which stood out as focus points?
Yeah, I met President Marcos at the time that he was president-elect in the middle of June. Basically, we discussed the ideas that I mentioned here, and it was a very good discussion, and he engaged and he was interested in developing relations with Finland, and he was happy as well to have the Finnish embassy back here, so I'm glad about that.
Well, we are all happy to have you, all of you back here. Let's shift gears a little bit, get to know a little bit more about Finland. Today is the Independence Day of Finland. It's, I understand, quite a day of remembrance, a mix of solemn remembrance and celebration as well. Can you help us understand a little bit more the significance of today?
As you said, on one hand, as I feel personally as well, I mean, it's a celebration. Probably not a hilarious celebration, but it's a celebration of the nation. But on the other hand, it's a serious, solemn festivity. And one important aspect is that we pay tribute to war veterans that we still have around us in Finland. Veterans who fought for our independence during what we call in Finland Winter War and Continuation War during the Second World War, when we fought these two wars against, at that time, Soviet Union. And this year, obviously, our Independence Day, it's celebrated in a specific atmosphere. Russian aggression against Ukraine, and that has changed the security situation in our part of the world. And I would like to use this occasion to thank the government of Philippines for condemning the Russian aggression against Ukraine. The Russian aggression is a blatant breach of the United Nations principles and international law, and that's why that aggression is not a European issue, although it's taking place there, but it's an international multilateral issue, exactly. And we should keep on condemning, and we should keep on counteracting the disinformation that the Russian Federation is spreading about the aggression, even here in the Philippines.
Right. Obviously, well, independence, from previous Russian occupation, all the more underlined the current geopolitical situation. However, on to some of the traditions. I understand candles play a big part. Placing of 2 candles as a symbol of great nationalism is part of what goes on as part of the more solemn side of the marking of today.
Absolutely, we put 2 candles at the windows, and it's beautiful because it's dark. Otherwise, it's winter in Finland.
Yeah.
And now we have snow even in southern Finland, so it's absolutely beautiful there. And in the evening, Finnish time, there is always a reception at the presidential palace.
Yeah, the castle ball is a big deal.
Yeah, exactly. By the president, and foreign diplomats are invited there, and dignitaries. So it is a celebration, but a solemn celebration. I would say.
Right. Well, it sounds very inviting, whatever mood it may be. We're seeing some pictures now of some of the fun things you can do in Finland. Obviously, it's Christmas season. We love Christmas here, as you can tell.
Right.
We love a white Christmas, but we love the idea of making it out to places where Christmas is celebrated. It doesn't get more central than Finland. Lapland is obviously where Santa Claus hails from. How popular is tourism, and how easy is it for Filipinos to make their way out there to visit, and if they love it, eventually possibly to consider even staying? There is a growing Filipino population out there. How easy is it for Filipinos to make it out to Finland for
I
visit?
start with the fact I'm really glad that you said that Santa Claus is from Finland, because Santa Claus is from Finland.
There you go. It's a confirmed fact.
It's confirmed fact, and Finland is a Christmas country. But I have to say that Philippines is great here. I mean, you start Christmas carols in September. First year here, I was a bit surprised, but now I think it's great. I mean, you go into the mood
Christmas for
gradually.
half the year.
Exactly. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, again, our embassy, I mean, we process visa and residence permit applications. So Filipinos who fulfill the requirements, they should get in touch with us and apply for a visa, residence permit, and visit Finland. And if they want, live and work there. I mean, it's a great country.
Right. Well, we won't take your word for it. We'll plan a visit ourselves. And now that I know where to find you, expect a call from me. Ambassador, looking forward to one of these days making it out there. I'd like to say thank you, of course, once again to Ambassador Juha Pyykkö for joining us this morning here on New Day. Happy Independence Day again.
Thank you so much for having me, and happy Independence Day to all of us and all Finns here in the Philippines.
It's a real pleasure having you, Ambassador. Thank you so much.
Thank you.